Leaked episode? Well, after that fight scene, I just leaked a little in my pants. Winter is here, and so is the Bro 4 Squad, reviewing episode 4 of season 7 of Game of Thrones. I'm Matt Geiger, alongside my Dothraki warrior lookalike Brian Banner, and our dragon, because he's our lawyer, Ronnie Cycli. And Banner, I'll throw it to you first. Pick an actor or an actress that stood out to you in this episode.
I'm going to go low-hanging fruit here. Arya. I know that I picked her earlier in the season, but she's just commanding the screen every time she's on. When she first comes up to the castle and she's talking to those two guards, she just makes them look like idiots, saying, hey, look, I am who I am, but you guys are – what do you think Sansa's going to say when you guys don't let her sister back into Winterfell? And then tricking them and sitting on the little cart thing and then disappearing – meeting Sansa, that whole scene with her and Sansa in the tunnels or wherever, basement, wherever they were at, was fantastic. And then her challenging Brienne of Tarth to a duel or a fight. And I think she won, but apparently if you read the interwebs, that's up for debate.
Cycli, what do you think?
I wouldn't say it was like a amazing performance, but every time Bronn's on the screen, you know, he really is entertaining for the viewer. He's someone, you know, none of us are rooting for the Lannisters, I don't think, at least, but I did not want Bronn to die the entire time in that battle. He's fighting that dragon, he's surviving, kicking some Dothraki ass, and that guy is one of the funniest characters, but it's just every time he's on screen, I find it highly entertaining. And he doesn't have to do anything special necessarily, but every time I really enjoyed his performance.
Shame on you both picking a male. And I'm not going to pick a female because it's 2017. I'm going to pick the fucking dragon because finally, after 7 seasons of just watching them being hatched and chained up and cared for, we got one actually in battle, and it fucked shit up. It was awesome.
Kind of an understatement.
Finally, after training their entire lives just basically to set fire to people and send them to a burning hell death, we finally got it in this episode. So going right into story, I'm just going to take the two things that I took from it. One, the Stark kids minus Jon Snow are all back together, which for me wasn't as
Where's Rob?
awesome. Rob's dead.
What? Spoilers, dude.
I didn't know that.
We'll have to tell Jeff not to listen to this episode because I think he's still on season 1, episode 1. He hasn't even pushed play yet. But it wasn't as big a homecoming for me as I liked. I really don't like Sansa, and Bran is just waiting for Warp Tour. He just has kind of left me. I don't really understand his character at all. And the other big thing is Daenerys finally went against wishes and finally just pulled out her big sword and swung it, and she finally won a battle, like a big battle, which shows, hey, you know, Cersei, game on. And how is Cersei going to react to this? We're going to, you know, maybe come up with that in theories, but that's the two things I really took away from story. What about you, Cycli?
Yeah, I 100% agree I was a little disappointed with the reunion of the Stark sisters. Like, you know, show a little more emotion. They were both almost like, oh, it's good to see you again. It's been 7 years. I mean, 7 seasons. I don't know what it is technically in years. But I was kind of disappointed
Game of Thrones
with that.
Years, that's like 58.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like dog years.
I was like, you guys could be a little more, because I was super excited. I got giddy when with Arya getting into Winterfell. I was so excited for her to see Sansa again. And you know what I loved? You know, Sansa watching that fight scene with Brienne. And at that moment, she realizes, holy shit, Bran is fucked up. Arya's fucked up. My family is fucking nuts. And you can see it in her face.
Okay, we're all married here, and we all, you know, go to our wife's side of the family. Isn't Bran the person on your wife's side of the family? They're just like, God, I just hope I don't have to sit by this person during dinner.
He's the person before your dinner party you warn about. Like, hey, Bran is going to make some awkward comments to you. Just like give a little like laugh and like side you push him along.
Just talk about his music, his band, the Three-Eyed Raven, and maybe he'll leave you alone. Banner, anything to add on story?
No, I think you guys hit all the high points. I mean, Daenerys finally just whipped out her big dick and proved to everybody that she's Queen Bee, which was really cool. And I think Bran, his character development is going to get very interesting here moving forward. He basically is saying, hey, Bran's been dead, now I'm the three-eyed raven, and it is what it is. This is going to kind of move us straight into our next topic, so I hope you didn't have a good transition, Geiger.
Guys, have you noticed that Bran is watching Game of Thrones just like us?
He really is.
What, sitting down?
Yeah, he's sitting down just watching everything that's happening in his wheelchair.
So my transition is best scene?
Yeah.
That's my transition.
Best scene. I think it's when Bran and Littlefinger are talking. Because, again, you see Littlefinger trying to get ahead and giving something to try and get something in return. And Bran's reaction is basically like, cool, what the fuck is a cripple going to do with a dagger? Like, that's stupid.
Cycly, I mean, that's not the best scene.
I mean, obviously, we're all going to sit here and say the battle's the best scene. So, I mean, this is really more of a conversation.
That was also a terrible sentence that Banner just said, but we'll throw that under the bus.
He did major in English. We can all say that. My second favorite scene, obviously, again, we're not talking about the battle because nothing's even close to that. I love the fact that Jon got some sidewalk chalk and drew on the caves 10 minutes before Daenerys got down there. I thought that was a great scene. Showed his determination to convince her of the White Walkers, and I was like, I respect that. It was a little awkward. He had to hide some of the chalk in his pocket, but it was great.
I'm glad I'm not the only person that thought that. I'm like, couldn't he have done this in this amount of time? Just kind of drew that all on there, maybe. I'm not sure.
I was waiting for
else? I was also a little apparently there's supposed to be a ton of dragon glass. It didn't look like that much dragon glass to me in there. It just looks like a bunch of
enough to win the war.
Well, at this time, there was enough. It's kind of like oil. Like, back in the day, there was enough, but now we have to go kill a bunch of other countries just to get it so I can drive to work. But anyway, so best scene for me, honestly, when Arya had the little fight scene that she did. Because the many-faced god, the no one, for me, is like the polar bear in Lost. Why the fuck is that in this story? Is it ever going to come back? It makes no fucking sense. I mean, yeah, it's cool that she can change faces and bring some characters back and kill people, but the many-faced god and the no one dude, I don't know what the hell, and maybe they're teasing that he's actually going to come in and make a difference, hopefully. But before we get to theories, can we talk about the battle scene? Because that's what everyone's trying to fast forward to get to anyway. The battle scene, Banner, like how your dick pressure, what were you thinking at the time?
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I actually forgot to put my dick cuff on to measure the pressure of my dick, so wow. I don't have an exact measurement for you, but it was hard as fuck.
It's a rookie mistake.
Yeah, fantastic scene. We finally got a dragon just fucking shit up, which is something that we've wanted since the first season, pretty much since we saw a dragon egg. So, absolutely fantastic, and I like that they showed that giant arrow thing that Bronn was shot can do damage, but they didn't actually. Works. Yeah, they proved that it works. So now we know that dragons are vulnerable to an extent. It's going to be interesting.
What about you, Simon?
Yeah, what I would say is, they also pulled they shouldn't have shown it too early. Now Daenerys knows they have this weapon, so. Now, instead of just going off and fucking shit up, that's what they're going to look for first in a battle and seek to destroy those weapons. So I thought that was they gave it away too early. What I loved about the battle is, so the Lannisters have always been famous for their ability in war, ability in battle. And you saw the fear in those soldiers the second they heard the Dothrakis, the second they saw that dragon. They were shaking. These are probably the bravest soldiers in the world. And I loved how they were freaking out about it.
The one thing I'll say about it, I want everyone to realize this. Whatever's new is better than everything else, but I'm going to take it down a notch. This was not better than the Battle of the Bastards scene for a couple reasons. One, I was more invested in that scene because I wanted to see fucking Ramsay dead. In this scene, I didn't want Jaime to die. I didn't want Bronn to die. I didn't want Daenerys to die. I didn't want any of the Dothrakis or the dragon to die. But it was a very well directed scene. And the other thing, and everyone knows this, I'm the DC guy. Momoa's my boy. It was just awkward not having him there. I wanted him there just fucking killing people, and he's not, because you killed him off in season 2. Khal Drogo should have been there, and that was the only thing that kind of took me out of the scene. Other than that, fantastically shot, the greatest scene of this season for sure, bar none.
Can I compliment something you just said? How you didn't want Braun to die and Jamie to die. I think that the credits got to go to the writers of the show. They're doing it so well that we're getting to the point where we're not just rooting for one side. When you're watching a movie, you're rooting for one side. It was conflicting watching that battle.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want the dragon getting hurt, but you don't want Braun dying. You want you have to give respect to the writers, producers.
I kind of wanted Jamie to die.
Jamie's the only bro we have left, dude.
Jamie's gonna kill
the only bro we got left.
Not.
All right, moving on to theories. Banner, you got any theories from this episode?
No, but I do like that Podrick was back also.
Were you happy Sam wasn't in this episode?
I was.
I'm glad Sam wasn't in.
I was really
That's
glad
a
he
theory
wasn't.
that we need to maybe he's just gone. Maybe he's just up there reading books.
I actually do have something. I think that somehow, I don't know. I got nothing. Never mind.
Okay, cycling.
Mine is, I'm going to reinforce the theory I had last week or 2 weeks ago. It's almost confirming my theory. Littlefinger's days are numbered. And Bran is onto him. Arya gave him a look. She knows. She knows what's up. He is not, if he wants to survive, he's got to leave Winterfell because the Starks aren't going to put up with this shit anymore.
I love this because that is a perfect segue into me. Littlefinger's days are not numbered because Sansa is around his finger, and I think Arya is going to be kicked out of Winterfell in the next couple episodes. Maybe it'll take next season, but Sansa's going to turn on her, and Bran's just out there just smoking pot, fucking listening to My Morning Jacket, dude. That is not a big deal to Littlefinger. But Arya is a big deal to him because he's always been in Sansa's corner. Sansa's going to turn her back on the Stark family and just kind of rule Winterfell. It's been teased a lot with her hairdo, kind of looking like Cersei's, I believe, in episode 1. But I think that's a theory that actually holds up. Moving right on to Twitter questions. Luis E.D. La Pena at Luis P79 tweets at us, if Jamie gets captured, do you think Tywin will release him as payback from season 4? Cycling.
I don't think he gets captured, but let's say he does get captured. I think he's used in a manner of negotiation with Cersei, and that he's going to realize what's really going on, the more important battle in terms of with the White Walkers, and he's going to be used as leverage to convince Cersei to commit her troops as well to the real battle.
What about you, Banner?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's going to get captured, but I do think, though, that Daenerys has turned a corner, and if they do capture him, I think she's just going to kill him.
I think he's going to get captured. I mean, he's just floating in the water there. I mean, it takes a while to clear a battlefield after you got to collect your dead and make sure your dragon's okay. I think Tywin's days at the hand are numbered as well. I mean,
Wait, are you talking about Tyrion?
Yeah, sorry, Tyrion.
No, Tywin's numbers are numbered. That's for sure.
Like to negative a couple of years.
But I think that his days are numbered as the hand. But I think Jamie is going to get captured. I really am. I mean, he's just floating right by the bay right there. I mean, he's deep, but I don't think Daenerys is just going to leave knowing that he's down there without a body.
Can we criticize how deep it is? Like 2 feet from the shore. Like that's a river.
It was a weird thing. I'm like, I don't really get that, but I don't know. Maybe
it's like 30 feet deep right there. But you know,
he's wearing armor. He's gonna drown anyway. He's just gonna sink. Nobody can float with that much armor on.
Maybe the adults wanted to swim there, and they wanted to have the kids' pool somewhere else, so they just dug it deeper. I don't fucking know. I've never been there. Okay, Brendan McKenna at BMC McKenna1 tweets at us. Okay, I'm not gonna read this tweet full because we got to kind of talk about it. This is a very complicated question. Do we just get confirmation that Syrio, who is from season 1, not season 2, just season 1, who basically taught Arya how to sword, was actually
sorry,
I can't pronounce it. That's a fucking bro.
Jaqen H'ghar
taught her how to sword.
Was basically No one.
Jaganagar.
Yeah. Which she said who taught you that. Do you think that's even true? Banner.
I don't think it's true. I think they were two clear, distinct, separate people. I don't think that's true at all. But it's a cool theory. It's something I hadn't thought about, but I don't agree with it.
Cycling?
Yeah, no, I don't blame the idea. Like, it would be a fun idea, but definitely not. I mean, he died in season 1 defending Arya. I mean, I thought that was crystal clear. But, you know, I understand the whole, like she said, no one taught me, and it's a combination of him and the Jaqen Hagar, but...
And I think the Hound helped, too, taught her something.
It did, yeah, and she's kind of learned her assassin
She's got
ability.
her own little style.
Yeah, and so, no, I don't think so, but I do see where she came up with that.
I'm going to tease our fans here, whoever's listening, hopefully a bunch of people. I think no one has a place in a lot of this, and I think Ned Stark is actually no one, and a lot of other people are no one too. And to figure out who all I think, listen next week to my theories edition of this. For that, we've been the Broforce Squad. Check us out, www.broforcesquad.com. We're on Twitter at Broforce Squad, Facebook, Broforce Squad Podcast. We're also on iTunes and YouTube. Subscribe to us and leave us a comment. Until then, we'll see you on the other side of the wall.